Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content in Informa Pharma Intelligence's Insights portfolio. We're here at the Biotech Showcase in San Francisco as we kick off the year. And I'm joined by Jim List, who's the Head of R&D at Janssen Cardiovascular Metabolism. Welcome.
Thank you.
So Jim, tell us, what is it? I mean, as the head of R&D there, what is your major focus for 2017?
Well, let me tell you what's keeping me busy lately. The first thing is the Canvas and Canvas-R trials for Invokana. These are very large cardiovascular trials, about 10,000 patients in total, and we're bringing these trials down. We're going to be seeing the data from these trials and hopefully bringing this out by the time of the American Diabetes Association meeting in June. These trials are very important. They're very important because they assess not only cardiovascular safety of Invokana as a therapy, but they also look at Invokana's potential to have beneficial cardiovascular effects. So we're very excited about this. A lot of work to bring down these gigantic trials, and we look forward to having more news about them once we see the data. In addition to that, we have a lot of work going on across our cardiovascular and metabolism area in both research and development. In the metabolic side, we of course are very interested in diabetes with Invokana, but we are also interested in the spectrum of metabolic disease. So this includes obesity, where we recently completed a phase 2 study looking at canagliflozin plus phentermine as a combination, and we're very interested in moving that forward. We also have recently completed a deal for a NASH asset, NASH being non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, that we're very excited about. This was with Bird Rock Bio, and that asset is a CB1 inverse agonist, and it's a target we think is particularly promising in the field of NASH because it addresses the basic pathophysiology of NASH, which is to say steatosis in the liver, fat accumulation in the liver, and inflammation in the liver, and fibrosis in the liver, all three. We have a lot of work going on also in diabetic kidney disease, where we have a phase 3 program with Invokana, and it's another area of our interest. So when you think about metabolism, what's keeping us busy in 2017 is this whole spectrum of metabolic disease, from obesity and diabetes to NASH and the cardiovascular effects of these diseases, as well as diabetic kidney disease. We're also very busy in cardiovascular metabolism in the thrombosis arena with Xarelto in the U.S. We have a number of large indication-seeking phase 3 trials going on right now with Xarelto, and we look forward to keeping these trials on track to find the data, because we very strongly believe in evidence-based medicine, and we have to generate the evidence to have evidence-based medicine.
So, and when do you expect sort of readouts from the Xarelto trials?
The Xarelto trials will have readouts that there's sort of a steady drumbeat of readouts of these trials in 2017, 18, and 19. We have trials going on right now looking at Xarelto in medically ill patients, in patients with congestive heart failure, in patients with embolic stroke of undetermined source, and in patients with peripheral vascular disease and revascularization. So stay tuned for data to be coming in on all of those fronts.
Yeah, and presumably the whole point of all this work is to expand the labels of those drugs, whether it's Invokana or whether it's Xarelto.
Absolutely, it's expand the labels with an eye toward better understanding the effects of these drugs in various patient populations, so that we can use the drugs more wisely and get the best benefits for patients. But when we step back, our strategy in research and development is really to find medicines that interact with the basic pathophysiologic pathways of disease, and by doing that to intervene in the diseases in a way that's meaningful for outcomes for patients. We're not interested in incremental innovation, we're interested in wholesale patient impactful innovation. And these trials are looking at effects of these drugs in just such a way that really impactful differences in different patient populations.
But Janssen's research strategy, I mean, it isn't just around sort of the medication. I mean, it's more holistic than that.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. What we, a term we like to use is disease interception. That's one of our futuristic goals, is by looking at the basic pathways that drive these diseases, cardiovascular metabolic diseases, we'll be able to intervene at earlier and earlier stages of these diseases, and ultimately with a goal of eliminating diseases. So preventing diseases, intercepting diseases, curing diseases. And when you think about cardiometabolic disease, as you said, it's holistic. You have to think holistically about this. The obesity epidemic drives the diabetes epidemic and drives the NASH epidemic. Diabetes and NASH are big risk factors for cardiovascular disease. It's all highly interrelated. So if we find the right targets and go after the right pathophysiology again, we should be able to make a big difference in these epidemic diseases.
So, meetings like this is also an opportunity for people to showcase their products for partnerships. Are you out looking for assets that you might also bring into your portfolio?
Yeah, absolutely. We love meetings like this because it's a chance for us to see and hear what's going on in the external environment, and for the external environment to see and hear what we're most interested in at Janssen and at J&J. And in fact, our basic approach is to be agnostic about whether innovation comes internally or externally. We want the best thing either way. But we do realize that in order to be able to judge external assets, we have to have some pretty good internal scientists. So there's a lot of parallel track, and in fact, when we do partnerships, and we do a lot of partnerships through traditional business development, through our less traditional innovation centers, we have incubators, we have JJDC, which is our venture capital arm. We have a number of levers. In all of those cases, our expertise and our ability to bring that expertise to the other partner, whether they're academic, biotech, et cetera, really makes for fruitful relationships.
And is there a sort of a particular kind of asset that you would actually like to source and bring in?
Well, the things we're looking for, I can't tell you the particular type of asset, but I can tell you some of the characteristics of it. It has to be highly innovative. It has to be different from what's already available out there. It has to really address the basic pathophysiology of the diseases we're interested in, and not be just addressing, say, symptomatology, but really the underlying driving pathology. And then the third thing about it is when we look at potential partnerships, whatever they may be, these partnerships have to really have a foundation that we can bring our strengths to. So it has to be an area that we have a depth of understanding and experience in, and we're very focused and we're very disciplined in our partnerships, and I think that's part of why we've had such successful partnerships to date.
Right. Well, Jim, thanks for stopping by and explaining that to us.
It was my pleasure. Great to meet you.